Right, so first off, before we get into all the specs on Kawasaki's all-new W800 Café, a brief history lesson. Back in the mid-1960s, Kawasaki bought the Maguro brand, a company with the license to make a BSA A7 knockoff, which Kawasaki then did and called it the W1. Fast forward some 55 years, and just as the retro motorcycle trend is taking off, Kawasaki launches a totally new retro runner that looks 1960s, feels 1960s, but has the reliability of a thoroughly modern machine. To achieve the reliability slice of the equation, Kawasaki took a very classic-looking air-cooled parallel twin and added a bevel drive cam, 4 valves per cylinder, and fuel injection. Then, for good measure, Kawasaki added a slick-shifting 5-speed transmission, beefy 41mm fork, and ABS-assisted disc brakes front and rear. However, getting back to the look and feel of the 1960s, Kawasaki bolted on a beautifully stitched two-tone leather saddle, classic large round-faced instrumentation, and metal-housed period-perfect handlebar switchgear. Oh yeah, and 2 bias-ply tires and pea shooter pipes for good measure. Looks cafe, feels cafe, you just don't have to tickle the leaky carbs and kick it over old school to get her going. So how does the W800 Café work out on the back roads? Well, let's ask this week's guest road tester, Mark Russell. So Mark, I always ask when we start one of these interviews, what was your first impression when you saw the W800?
So it looks fantastic. It looks like the kind of bikes that caused us to fall in love with motorcycles and riding. Everything about it appears authentic, although well-made and modern because it's Kawasaki. But it has the look of it like in the late 60s, we would have bought a big vertical twin and it had a little bikini fairing. We would have been all happy with that. And the Clubman bars, they're really authentic.
Yeah.
All of that looks great, and it feels great to sit on it.
Yeah. Well, Kawasaki really wanted this bike to be authentic right down to the bias ply tires,
Yep.
which blows my mind. But they really wanted to look to like as if it's like the original bike from the 60s.
So I give them credit for being authentic on that.
Yeah.
But I have to say the bias ply tires, I don't have a lot of complimentary things to say about them. They function, but out there on the road, they're moving around.
Yeah.
You go into a corner and it'll just chip this way and that way and this way and that way. They're constantly moving. And we've forgotten what that's like because we haven't ridden on bias ply tires since the 70s.
Yeah. You fire it up. This is kind of interesting. It's a parallel twin, air-cooled, old school, but the bevel drive cam, which is not something I'm used to seeing on a bike like this.
So the motor itself functions strongly.
Yeah.
And I don't have a really clear recollection of what the late 60s were like because I was there.
Yeah.
But the way this bike functions is perfect. It's smooth and modern. Well, I say smooth, it's a vertical twin. It bounces up and down constantly. That's what it does all the time.
Yeah.
You don't feel it in the bars or anything, or not really so much in the seat, but you know it's there, it's bouncing.
Yeah. The foot pegs are like the old school rubber foot pegs. They're sucking up some of the vibration.
Yep.
The saddle, I don't know. It's a beautiful plush saddle. I wasn't feeling a lot of vibration there.
It's nice and skinny at the front. Anybody could fit on that.
Yeah.
But there's enough seat there for my old fat butt.
Yeah.
It was still comfortable.
This narrowness right here is a bit of secret sauce because I think that makes this bike, look at where this sits on me.
Oh yeah.
Plus with the carved in, I think almost anyone would fit
You
this
could be
bike.
5'3" and you'd be fine on it.
Yeah.
Although it's not a lightweight bike.
No, it's not. It's it's still a fairly heavy bike for what it is for an 800. Pea shooter classic mufflers. What did you think of the sound?
They sound great, and there's little pops and buzzes as you decelerate, so all that sounds authentic.
Yeah.
And under acceleration, it sounds really strong, like this is a tough motorcycle.
Single disc brake up front, but
That was strong.
certainly not a brake from 1967.
No.
No.
It's not what you get on a modern sport bike, but that's a really strong brake. I tried using the back brake by itself, and there's not much there, even though it's a big brake, twin piston caliper on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a bike like this is not set up to stop that way.
What did you think of the riding position? Does it feel like an old Clubman barred, air-cooled motorcycle?
It was not painful or extreme in the slightest, and I thought about that because a bike like this, when it was delivered from the factory, would have had these big bars up here like this.
Yeah.
Which would be, I think, horribly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This was really nice. You just have enough weight on your arms that it's not all on your butt. It was evenly distributed, and then at speed, the wind's going to hold you up anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not extreme. You don't feel like you're, folded in half.
Analog gauges, twin analog gauges with just a little bit of digital information.
It has a real tack.
It has a real tack. When was the last time you saw that?
I liked that, yeah.
Yeah. The mirrors, do they work for you?
They worked, yep. You got to move your elbow in and lean over to get a look, but they work the way they're supposed to. I think a lot of people would buy this and put Clubman and bar end mirrors on it.
Yep.
And then you'd have a big view of everything.
So who's going to buy this bike? Who are we recommending it to?
It's likely going to be somebody my age, somebody who was around in the late 60s, early 70s, and that's what they liked about riding. And I could see going for an afternoon ride on a day like today. It's beautiful. It's not a fast bike. It's not frightening in any way.
Yeah.
It's not going to overperform, so it's to get on and go for a cruise, an afternoon cruise. Go to the cafe and have a cappuccino.
Yeah, beautiful. So did you have fun on it, Mark?
I did. It was a great day.
Yeah.
Really fun to ride. I'd do it again.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It was great to have somebody from the era who kind of remembers a thing or two from the 60s to ride it.
Thank you, Dave. Had a great day. Thank you.
Good stuff.